Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here, and I'm doing my road trip page for day 22, and I have lots and lots of photos on that day because it was probably one of my most favorite days on the trip, one of the highlights of the trip, and I don't think we knew how much of a highlight it was going to be when we got there, but until we got there. But it was it was Mount Rushmore Day. We had spent the night in Sheridan, Wyoming, coming down from Montana through Wyoming to get to South Dakota, and it was all I will say, I'm going to do another page, and I've saved some of this paper. I'm not quite sure whether which side I'm going to use it on. I kind of like the striped side, but we'll see. The page I am scrap lifting is this one by Claire Rachel Thomas that she did for the Mind the Scrap design team. And it's got this banner shape across it, and then she's filled it with embellishments and has sequins kind of out in the field there, and floral clusters. She's got only one photo, but she has a journaling block, a couple tags, and some various and sundry things that I'm gonna try to emulate somewhat, although I have 3 photos, so hopefully they're sized to fit on here and to still allow room for some embellishing, because you know how I love to embellish. So I'm going to put this aside right now, and we'll refer to it maybe later, and then I'll gather all my stuff up here. Let's see. Okay. If I did this, let's see what the photos look like on this. This is how the day started, with this cute little bunny that was right out by our car and at the hotel in Sheridan. And then we passed this Welcome to South Dakota sign, and it has the Mount Rushmore faces there, and it says "Great Faces, Great Places," which is their motto. And so John, I had John posed there like he was the 5th face on Mount Rushmore, and I love this. I love this picture. It's one of my favorites from the trip. And then I took this as you walk. I didn't realize that there's this kind of mall, and it has plaques telling when each state of the union was admitted, and then it has the flags for each state as you walk down. And I got this photo with my DSLR camera, and it was probably one of the best. Of course, I've filtered it, which is why it has that kind of cartoonish look. So if I arrange these kind of like that and do embellishments around them, I think that'll be good. I'm debating whether to put, let's see. You know, the photos really stand out better this way, but I have to have some of that striped paper on there. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this, and then, and I'll have the striped paper figure more prominently on the companion page I do about that day. I have a companion page I want to do that talks about all the other things besides being amazed and awed and all of that by the carvings themselves. See, I can do that. Maybe, you know, here, something like that. There's there's a story about the workers who were supporting the artist and carrying out the artist's dream, and the artist who did this actually did Stone Mountain here in Georgia, just the other side of Atlanta from where we are, and he did Stone Mountain sort of as an audition for this job, and I didn't know that till I got there and read all the history. But they had an ice cream vendor there, and we stopped. We had made really good time getting there, and we just were loving the feel of the place. So we kind of sat there and read all those things that they put out there and that nobody ever reads. We read them, and I even took photos of some of them, so I have the story. But the workers had actually formed a baseball team, and there are photos of the guys that were on the team and kind of information about the success of the team, its record and where it played and how long it played. It's like for a few years, this, or more than a few years, this this place was home, and they kind of like built a life there, and it was a great story. I just can't say enough about it. I had mentioned this before, and I know Sally's gonna like that I'm mentioning it again. But I first learned about Mount Rushmore from the Weekly Reader in second grade, and I'd always wanted to go, and John said the same thing, that he'd always wanted to go, and our parents just neither of our parents, his from Ohio and mine from Louisiana, neither of them had the wherewithal or maybe even the interest to go there. We didn't go. Neither of us went on very many family vacations. We just put it that way. So I'm going to mount this on these. This is to hold the ends up a bit. I didn't want to put foam on the whole back of it. I'm gonna go I usually don't do this, but this one I'm gonna do right smack dab in the middle, and we'll see where we go from there. Okay, photos are gonna be pretty important to get on there. I have some little things like I want to put tourist underneath this one and visitor underneath this one, or somewhere around that one, and then the title I want to be the best time ever, because this particular day was definitely close to one of the best on the whole trip. So I'm going to put, let's say if I line these up like so, and I put tourist here, or I even could come down and put tourist there, and I can do visitor here, and then I can do some kind of embellishment there. So I think I'm going to go for that arrangement. I had thought of overlapping them, and this way they do take up a little more real estate on the page, but I think it gives them a greater sense of importance in a way. So let me get this here. And I'll do that. It's a very touristy thing to do, get out and pose with the welcome sign. And we did it every new state we went into. I took a lot of photos of, there were some beautiful rest stops, and I became a fan of photographing rest stops. And I'm going to do this, and then I can use that to mount some other I'm going to do this. Anyway, I have pictures of the rest stops, and we stopped at Wall Drugs in Wall, South Dakota, which is a little town that used to be a real town, then it went away, and then they've restored it. And Wall Drugs, which used to be one of the stores there, kind of took over the whole town, and it's sort of more like a tourist attraction, I'd say. And we loved it. I'm going to use this little, I had this little sunshine sticker. It's a 3-dimensional sticker, and I don't know what collection it's from or where I got it or why I have it, but it's so small, I want to go ahead and just use it. And it's glittery and cute, and I just thought I'd put it there. Now what I want to do is something, how about, I'll do the gold butterfly. I need to cover up that looks like gray sky, and so I'm just gonna have the butterfly flying up that way. And I have some various tags and such that I think I'm going to put this one here and put a strip. This is a frame tag from a Cartabella collection called Pack Your Bags, I think. And I cut the frame in half so that I could use it twice. And I'm going to do a bit of twine in there, and I'm going to use this black and white twine because it's handy, and black and white goes with anything, and I may want to add some black elements. I usually find some, and I thought I was using the striped side of the paper, and it has a very prominent maroon color there, and so I picked maroon sequins, and then I turned the paper over. So go figure. Instead of flowers, I'm going to do maybe, that may be too big, so this may go back in the bucket. The shoes can go right here, and I'll do my hearts. Or do I want the shoes over here? We actually walked a lot there, so I'll do the hearts up here. And these were cut from 49 and Market packaging. And there's a blue, there are a lot of blues in the striped paper. And so I thought these hearts would work. They're kind of like denim almost. Okay, so that goes there. I have a rub-on that I would really like to include. And the reason I want to know where the shoes are going is because I want that to be kind of close to the shoes. I'm probably going astray from Claire's design, but I should have most of the elements that kind of stood out to me. Where's there it is. Okay, let's do, oops. No. Don't want that to stick. Let's go here. I want to get it parallel. Okay. And I can take these out for the moment. This is a definition. This is a rub-on from 49 and Market from Everywhere. And it is a definition of experience. And that's really a good word to define, because this was not just a place we went or a thing we saw, or it was an experience that was, I don't know if it was patriotism or bemoaning a lost and ill-spent youth, or what it was exactly. But I was truly overwhelmed. I had tears in my eyes, and John looked over and said, "Are you getting weepy too?" He said, "This is more magnificent." He said, this, you look up magnificent in the dictionary, you should see this. It truly is magnificent. And I can't say enough how impressed we were. Okay, this is hitting something that I don't want it to hit, because I want them to go a little bit up that way. All right, so there, I've got these 2 tickets that can slide down right there. Okay, and that's there. So I've got this little thing right here that's kind of cute. And I thought if I just kind of add it to this little area. There we go. And I've got this thing that says Mountain Country. It's some sticker company, Jolie's Boutique. It says Mountain Country, and it has mountains and bears and a cute little red tent. And I thought maybe I could put this somewhere. Before I do that, I have these larger tags, and let me cut something off the bottom, and I'll try to see if I can reuse that somewhere. I'll put it at an angle that way, and this one at an angle the other way. And it's going to push the sun out of the way, but I can move that. Okay, let me put some glue down. Oh, come now. That's blocked up, and it shouldn't be because I haven't had this off of it for long. There, and there we go. Okay, now I have this that says on the bucket list, and I thought maybe I've got this little bit that has kind of a green stripe that doesn't match anything, but I still kind of thought I might want to use it. I'm going to cut this end off of it and put a little glue on it. It's just a bit of color to kind of, what it does is it sets off that gold color there, and it just kind of adds a little bit kind of down here where there's really nothing else. I've got this that I pull out. This is National Park Service, and we were I was going to use that on a different page, so let's see where I want to use that. Maybe here. It could go there, but I like the sun there. I'm just going to tuck it right there. And I've got this little set of binoculars that came from a Pinkfresh sticker sheet, and since it's kind of the same colors as this Vicki Boutin and this Steven Duncan, so I'm going to put it right here, and I'm going to put this down here. I have a couple other things that I definitely want to get on the page. Let's see, I need it over a little bit this way. And that, the green label I cut from 49 and Market Packaging. The, on the bucket list was from 49 and Market, Vintage Artistry Everywhere. It's a chipboard. I've got these two leaves. These came in the Mind the Scrap August kit, and they are P13 light chipboard elements. And I thought maybe one could go there and one could go here. I kind of like that. I'm going to put I don't want them flat, so I'll put a dot, a foam dot on one of them, and that'll kind of hold the whole batch up. And I'm going to do the same thing on this one. I have a word strip that says Simply Magical. I'm going to put the leaf under there. Okay. Do I have a place for this mountain country to go? Maybe right there? Or do I even need it? How about maybe right here? It can go, or here. I can kind of double up, and you can still see that there's a tag there. I'm going to straighten it out a bit. Or Well, it's stuck there. So yeah, that's where it goes. That's where I wanted it. And now I'm going to do, well, there's the Simply Magical, and I'm going to put that right down here. That's the obvious place for it. I maybe thought about putting it here, but I think I prefer it down here. And I have a strip of foam behind it. Okay, there we go. Now, sequins. Just do a little set of them. There are some, I'm glad I put that there. That kind of gives us that maroon color that these sequins are going to match. There are little copper flowers in this sequin mix, and I love those. There are also some copper discs and some green discs. Here's a green disc. Come on. And a little tiny coppery maroon disc. And that I have too much glue on there. So I'm just gonna willy-nilly add sequins like Claire did, kind of out in the field, not connected to anything else. There's a maroon cupped sequin, but I did have a little flat one. Let's go here and maybe here. I am, I guess what I started to say a while ago, I'm going to do a kind of a separate, I don't know if it'll be a mini book or something, where I do the food on the trip. I have lots of food photos. And I'm also going to do rest stops and you know, kind of the history lessons that you got at those rest stops. And so those are going to be separate from these pages, and I couldn't be more excited to do those. I doubt that I will film those unless, you know, I get this overwhelming demand. It's just kind of something I wanted to get down. As I go through the photos, I believe there might have been 50 photos taken on this particular day on the trip. So you might have wondered how we had time to do anything else but take pictures. But there were two cameras going. If I was using my phone, John was using the DSLR, and vice versa. And we both took pictures. My DSLR did not have GPS on it. So we would take a photo of the same thing with each camera just to give ourselves time and date bearings. And so some of those were utility photos, but you know, not that many, just one per day. And I probably took, that's not going to count as a sequin because it doesn't have a hole in it, so I have to have 20 besides that one. I think that shouldn't be a problem. But anyway, I think that's going to be a fun project for maybe a mini book. A lot of these mini books, when I take the classes, I don't necessarily know what I'm gonna document in the book. And so I have lots of those that are made up, and I just have to print the pictures to the right size and then either change or figure out how to use what is, you know, what embellishments I've already put on without, you know, because a lot of the pages are embellished. Most of them are, the where to next one, for example, is definitely travel oriented. So it would be great to do some of the things that didn't get covered in this little project. Okay, I tell you what I'm going to do right there, folks. I'm going to find another small disc and just kind of put it on top and let it stick there. And then I'm going to find a little tiny green one and put it up close to here, because there was some extra glue there, and I think I like that better. And let me do, if I'm going to double those up, I might come and double up one of these. There, and I have this one. I may as well double up. Let's double up that one. And I think I'm going to be done. There we go. Okay. I'm happy with it. And I've done another day. This was just a totally magical, wonderful, incredible day. And I thank you for joining me on this stop on the road trip. And tomorrow we'll do day 23. We're nearing the end of the month. So we're going to start getting to more baseball. Minneapolis and Milwaukee and Detroit and Toronto. And so those will be coming up. And then we drove home after Toronto, but didn't make it all in one day. So we'll have a stop on the way home. Sad sacks that we were to have to come home. And we hadn't planned to come home right on that very last day. We thought we might stay a little bit more. And we got a call that there were some kids that weren't going to have rides to some, I don't know, practice or school or something. I'm adding more of this color in paper elements just to have it. And I'm going to cut this in half so I can use it in two places. I'm going to put this one right there. And I'm going to put this one, where do I want this one? Maybe right here. Okay, I'm happy with that. So I don't have floral clusters, but I have hearts and leaves, and here I have shoes and leaves. So, you know, makes sense to me. I'm okay with it. So thank you for watching. Bye. See you tomorrow.